Well, hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Churn Farms. We are in game day 15 of mid-autumn, as you can see, and we are just over here at the arable farm. We are basically working to empty our trailer of some pallets that we purchased at the store. Bought 6 bags of fertilizer, and we bought a pallet of diesel fuel. So we are going to, we're going to offload our pallet of diesel fuel here because we are out of fuel. What's going on? Let's get rid of this. There we go. I don't know if it's if it's normal with Farm Sim, but I have definitely noticed with this particular trailer that you not only have to release the strap that is obviously visually holding the item down, typically you need to release the strap to either side of that for it to properly release. So we have finished, just to catch you all up, we have finished our chopping of corn, and we have filled one silo down at the horse farm, or the cow farm, and we started putting material in the other silo, but we did not get it full. And that basically ran our 8530 pretty darn near close to being out of fuel. So we brought it over here and filled it up, and basically emptied our fuel trailer. So we wanted to get a pallet of diesel fuel to fill it up. Now that we've got that full, let's just drop our pallet off here. And the fertilizer. And the fertilizer that we bought, we need to fertilize our big grass field. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to fertilize our field 15 that we finished putting hay in, or getting hay off of that field the other day. And we also need to, I guess we should technically fertilize the 2 cornfields that we chopped our corn in. So we technically need to also fertilize the 2 fields where our corn was chopped. And I'm looking to possibly, I'm not sure if we're going to get that today, put in some, we've got a seeder we need to pick up over at the shop. And we're going to start putting in some oilseed radish down on our barley and wheat field and the corn fields that we've harvested. So I don't know if we're going to get to that today, or if that's something we will get to in tomorrow. Let's go ahead and while we're here, let's park this tractor over here kind of out of the way. But shut them off. Let's go over here and check out these silos. Here, hay and our straw. Silo here has 600 and basically 630,000 liters of chaff, and this silo has 88,000 liters of chaff. And if we go around here and look at our digital display, see we've got 110,000 liters of silage here. We got a angled screen here. We've got 110,000 liters of silage in this particular silo. In this particular silo, we have 298,000 liters of silage. So what's really cool about these two silos is you can basically have 713,000 liters of silage and 713,000 liters of grass or chaff at the exact same time. And as you use silage, it would then convert the grass or chaff into silage until the silage level was full again. That time it would basically just shut down. But we've got it churning away here. So we've tweaked, if you recall from my introductory video, we tweaked the output of the silos such that it's going to take about 8 game days to thoroughly convert all of the silage to, or all of the chaff to silage. This one first silo that's mostly full. That was done to emulate how Seasons works with respect to the fermentation of bales and the fermentation of silage in the bunker. So it's going to take until basically, I guess, game day 23 to get all of that chaff converted. And that's perfectly fine because at this rate, it's converting much faster still than we are able to use it. We are only using about 10,000 liters of silage every 2.5 days or so. So it is converting much faster than we're able to use it. Go ahead and use our Massey Ferguson for the fertilizing because it's green, and we like to color code or color coordinate our tractors and our equipment here at the Churn Farm. Let's head on over to pick up our fertilized spreader. That's over at the other farm. And while we're over there, I wanted to check on the grain silos, just to make sure that everything is drying out properly. Still have fertilized our wheat and barley fields already, so they have one level of fertilization on them. We did not use chopped straw. We obviously harvested the straw off of those. So when we do put oilseed radish down and then cultivate that in, that will be our second fertilization state. Then when we plant, we'll probably use a planter that has fertilizing capability, or we'll just come back after we plant to do our fertilizer. So this ladder here, if we run up the ladder, we can look in our silos, and got this one I think has our barley in it. This one is empty. We don't have anything in that one. This one is empty. And this one has our wheat. So we can let's come down the ladder here. Got our dryers running out here. Well, that is all good. Fans running our dryers. That's pretty cool. So I had no idea that we could go up in there, and I found that the other day. Thought that was really cool. So we are actually running, there are some subtle differences to this map from the last video. That is because we're actually running a pre-release update of this map. Saying loud. But we're running a pre-release update to an update that the map author is going to put out. He had heard that I had reached out to him and said that I was having some some issues, and I had found a few floating trees up in the woods where we were cutting. So he made a few tweaks and went ahead and shot me a copy of that. So there's a couple things that are different. You will find that at the main cow farm, our milk fill point is moved. That is because that there wasn't a milk trigger before at the cow farm, and I put a trigger in so that I can manually sell milk. The new map, the new version, already has a trigger in it now at the cow farm. And I had commented in a video that I wanted to place a milk trigger at the dairy factory, but couldn't. It just wouldn't let me put a trigger there. So this version now also includes a milk sell point at the dairy. So we no longer have the milk sell point at the local store, little country store. That has been moved to the dairy, and we've subsequently moved the milk truck that we use the dairy as well. I'm going to just cut the volume down to this tractor just a little bit. I feel like I'm trying to talk over it. Go ahead and get to fertilizing. So you'll see on the map here where we have a milk sell point now down at the dairy, just below field 15 and 19. And the milk sell point that was over by field 3 is now removed. Also, let's see here, I think, this particular iteration of the map also had corrected an issue down at the pig farm. Initially, if you recall, when we were doing our potatoes, I wanted to dump at least a load, if not 2 loads of potatoes in that shed, in that enclosure. But I wasn't able to dump the potatoes there. I kind of edited the video, so you never really saw me attempting to dump there, but I did make a mention of it in the video. There was an issue with the tip collision there, so that has been corrected, so we can now dump our potatoes there should we so wish. And I might just do that. I might dump our potatoes there and then sell off the root crop storage building, since it's technically not needed anymore. So we might be doing that off camera. So there you go, right here by the so now we're at the dairy. See, we moved our milk truck over here, and there's the new cell trigger for the milk. It still sells at the same values, so we still get $4,000 for a truckload of milk. We're still waiting on our soybean field to come due, and we're still waiting on our cornfield to come due. Those are 2 remaining fields that there's the last 2 fields that we need to harvest before winter. It took us, took me what, about 3.5 days to chop all of our corn with that front chopper header. I have to say that the 8530 that we used was right on the fringe of the power level. That particular mod said that it required 350 horsepower, and the tractor that we were using, the 8530, had exactly 350 horsepower. It was able to chop at 6 miles an hour, but it was pretty slow getting started and everything, and it's kind of a slow process. So hopefully next time we'll be in a position to use a bigger forage harvester. But like I said, I wanted to go that route because we're a little low on money. We're a little low on funds. And wanted to try to not take a loan out, if at all possible. So the plan is to purchase 100 sheep, or no, 100 pigs, when pigs are at their lowest price, which should be very, very soon. Meaning any game day now, sheep should be at their lowest market price of the year. And basically once that happens, we're going to pick up 100 sheep, and or 100 pigs, sorry about that. We're going to need about $160,000 to do that. So actually we're going to need a little more than that, because we'll probably need to we might need to have them delivered, because I don't know if we're going to be able to afford the delivery fees as far as leasing a truck and trailer to bring those pigs home. So we may just have them delivered for us. And at that point, we will have all the animals that we're looking to buy. We will be in a position to sell our harvester once we have brought in the corn and the soybeans. So that will bring us some more money back to help pad us over winter. Of course, we have our cows producing milk over winter. So that will also be a revenue source. And of course, we have forestry to do over winter. So that'll also be a revenue source. But still need to acquire a seeder and seed. Put the oilseed radish in. That will help us out in the long run with respect to our fertilizing costs. At this point, we were only able to use chopped straw on our canola field, so we don't really need to fertilize that, as when we put our when we put our oilseed radish in and then cultivate, that will basically get us 2 fertilized levels. Or we might actually cultivate that before we put our oilseed radish in, just in case that running the planter over it somehow messes things up. So things are coming along quite nicely here on the farm. As you can see, we have our autumn colors starting to pop, starting to come in really nice. Across the way. Let's go ahead and check our price overlay. We've got yet another great demand for potatoes. We have sold all the potatoes that we can sell. We need to keep the potatoes that we have, so we're not able to take advantage of that great demand. Got a decent price for canola, but we're not going to be selling canola because we pretty much have what we need for our pigs. We don't have too much extra canola there. Sugar beets, we don't have any sugar beets, so that price doesn't mean much to us. We've got some manure, but we're saving that up. We want to save up the manure for fertilizing next year, because we have we've talked to if you remember, we talked to Mark over at the community farm, and the plan is to basically take the community farm over next spring and help them out with our their planting and their preparing of the little farm plots. So we're going to use the manure for that probably. Also have some slurry, but the amount of slurry that these fields are going to take is going to be a massive amount. So we just need to save up our slurry as best we can, and we'll use it at some point. But I suspect we're not going to be in a position to use our slurry for quite a while now. We're just going to put this in a little bit of a time lapse and come back at you once we have finished fertilizing our grass. Alright, well that gets that field done. We're going to go back and fill back up, and then we're going to run over and fertilize our corn. Fields that we chopped. That will probably be our game day. We're just going to I'll keep you with me until we get over to the cornfields. Probably fertilize one field of those together. Then I'll let you all go, and we will finish that up. Fill up our fertilizer. While that's running, you saw that we got a great demand for sunflowers, or you may not have seen that because that flew up pretty quick. So, all right, got levels of fertilizer on our grass. 1, 1, 1, and 2. Levels over here. 1 level here. Cultivate that in. That should get us to 2. Fertilize these 2 fields here. Great demand for canola. All kinds of great demands working us right now. We've got 3 great demands working. We don't have any sunflowers, and like I said, we're not in a position to do anything with our canola. We're going to want to keep that for our pigs. So, go ahead and come on over here and we will fertilize, I think, whatever the small field is. It's field 9, maybe. Yep. So we'll fertilize field 9 together, and then I'll just let you all go. And when we come back tomorrow, we will be probably putting some oilseed radish in the ground. Easiest way to get to field 9 is to around the back here. Come over here by our trash pile and turn on in this road. We are in field 9. It won't take long to fertilize this little field. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider clicking that good old like button. If you didn't like the video, go ahead. Click the dislike button. It's fine with me. Because a view's a view, and I'm fine and dandy if for some reason you don't like a video. If you are wanting to get notifications of upcoming content, please consider clicking the subscribe button. That way you can get notifications when new content in the channel comes in. I encourage you to go check out PCSG and the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. They are both very good community websites that are mature and adult oriented. So they are there to help you out. They're not there to basically belittle you or berate you and question why on earth you're asking for help when you could go to the internet and find the answer yourself. They're more than happy to help you get the answer to any questions you might have. Also, if you could check out the guys that are linked in my description. They are all members of the 3 Dudes community. They are all media members or media partners of 3 Dudes, and they all put out really great content, farm sim content as well as other content. With their farm sim content, they all produce slightly different types of videos. They have different gameplay styles. So if for some reason my gameplay style is not to your liking, you'll probably find a gameplay style to your liking amongst one of those other 3 Dudes members. And until next time, guys, happy farming.